Hi, welcome to the Sleep Enclave. I'm Benitha, your host, your guide, and quite possibly the most energetic sleepyhead you'll ever meet. Now, listen, before I became obsessed with sleep, I was living a high speed, high real life. Former athlete, full time traveler, queen of carry ons. And if you ask me how I was doing, I'd say outstanding. Probably while throwing down one of my favorite sugary drinks. I had frequent flyer miles and frequent fatigue, a 2-for-1 special I didn't quite ask for. But back then I thought being tired was a part of being successful. Hustle hard, sleep when you're dead. Caffeine and sugar had their own personality traits. Yes, that life. But then life hit the brakes. And my inner voice said, "Ma'am, have a seat and don't get up until you figure some things out." Thus, I sat. I started listening, not to influencers or health trends, but to my own body. For the first time, I asked myself a question that sounded simple but hit deep. Are you actually healthy? Or are you just really good at pushing through? Because pushing through is really not a wellness plan. So I started a new journey. I called it my wellness safari. Food was my first stop. I tried being vegan, which was really nice in theory, but then I realized the whole movement was about saving the animals, and I love the animals, but I needed to save me. So I dabbled in pescatarian life and I felt fancy for a bit, and then I flirted with keto and had a situationship with the Mediterranean plan. Then I basically went into what I call the Bachelorette Nutrition Edition. And each meal was like, will you accept these leafy greens? Will you accept these leafy greens? And you know what? Leafy greens showed up in every plan, every single one of them. So I took the hint and I cleaned up my meals. I became more of a mindful eater with plants, less processed foods, less salt, less oil, less sugar, and more color on my plate. Fewer ingredients that sounded like science experiments or things I couldn't pronounce. Did you know there were over 4,000 types of potatoes in the world? Mm-hmm. 4,000, like from fingerlings to russets to purple to sweet. Dozens of types of leafy greens, hundreds of vegetables, and over 2,000 types of fruit. Countless seeds, roots, nuts, herbs, spices. Who provided all this variety and abundance? There's no need to eat the same thing every day, not only one way, not only one plate. Then I came upon fitness. I stopped treating workouts like punishment and I ate and started moving my body. And yes, it felt good. Dance, walks, stretching. Oh, it was fabulous. I even sometimes pretend like I was in a music video. My energy picked up, my lab numbers changed, my report card was radiant. And I thought I had cracked the code. But let me tell you, the plot thickened because the picture was even bigger. It wasn't just about the human body being able to lift, crawl, climb, jump, roll, catch, strike, push, pull, twist, dance, and sway and sway. But the real glow up didn't come from the green juice or the line dances. It came from sleep. I started sleeping, like actually sleeping, not crashing on the couch, not spending 4 hours sleeping in an airport, not just crashing here or there when I could, but I'm talking deep, uninterrupted, soul restoring sleep that makes you wake up humming. Whew. I didn't need an alarm. I didn't need sugar. I didn't need caffeine. I just needed rest, sunshine, fresh air. And I thought, why is no one talking about this? We talk about skincare, squats, but we don't talk about sleep. The one thing we literally do and need to do every day. I realized that sleep was not just a nice to have. It's the secret sauce. It's the foundation. Sleep is the real flex. And rest, it's like a garden, not a prescription. There is sleep, but there's also stillness. There's laughter, there's prayer, there's meditation, there's deep breaths. There's walking in silence. There's dancing in joy, crying in surrender. Turn off the noise, turn up the music, sometimes just turning inward. Who designed this many ways to restore your life? Not only one way to rest. Join us. Let's talk about rest as resistance. Let's lay in it. The Sleep Enclave. What if rest was made just as beautiful and just as abundant as food on the plate and the movement in the body? And yes, we here at the Sleep Enclave are here to explore it all. The moment I learned about sleep, I then took a deeper dive. I became a board-certified health and wellness coach. I started experimenting on myself mostly, but also on friends and family. They did survive, but what I found out is we were all tired, over-caffeinated, overstimulated, under-rested. We have alarms to wake us up, apps to track our schedules, but nothing that teaches us how to actually sleep well. Thus, I've said enough is enough. And just like that, the Sleep Enclave was born. And you might be wondering, what exactly is the Sleep Enclave? Now that you've got my whole story, it's a podcast that's not about taking bubble baths or drinking chamomile tea. We're focused on talking about sleep for real. Here's what you can expect each week from the Sleep Enclave. Real stories. We share real life moments when sleep or lack of it changed everything. That could be burnout. That could be night shift. That could be athletes. That could be parents. That could be any everyday person. And even some true crime stories where sleep played a shocking role in the results. We'll talk about science, sleep health. Not complicated jargon, no white coats, just smart, digestible information on how sleep impacts your body, the brain, the hormones, the mood, the memory, the metabolism. Basically, how it fuels every step you take and every breath you take. We'll also talk about some spotlight segments where we talk about rest experiments, things you can try, and then we'll talk about a lot of the sleep tools that are out there, the sleep techniques and resources that are available to you, whether it's mattresses, rings, all types of strategies that you can use to get better sleep or simply learn about it. We want to build routines that work in real life. Talk to guest experts and everyday sleep geniuses so that we get the everyday voices, researchers, biohackers, and everyday people who've cracked the code or are in the midst of cracking the code. Because sometimes the best advice doesn't come from the credentialed individual. It's from your cousin who figured out exactly how to rest well. So we hope you join us once a week at the Sleep Enclave, because the Enclave is a protected space, a pocket of peace for those who are looking to reclaim rest. Get curious, not critical. Laugh while learning. Give sleep the flowers it deserves. So if you're tired of being tired and you want to stop surviving and start really thriving in your rest, join us on the Sleep Enclave. We invite you to join us. Grab your lemon water, fluffy pillows, put your phone on Do Not Disturb, and be ready to wake up for this real-time discussion. Stay with us.